host tonight. And in this game, it is week 3 in the American Arena League, and not much has happened. This is the first full week of action for all the teams. Last night, we saw the Florence Havoc take down the Georgia Doom 48-32. The Havoc are now 2-0 with wins over both the Doom and Cape Fear. What they look like one of the most formidable teams in the league thus far. 2 other teams vying for that title are right here tonight. The Carolina Energy, playoff team last year. They were knocked out in the first round by Richmond. And the brand new traveling Carolina Predators. A very interesting team, to say the least. We've tried to keep things really quiet. Don't like a lot of publicity. Trying to keep things on the down low. Let other guys take the spotlight. Let us kind of work on our own and then come out and surprise somebody. And that's what we're hoping to do here tonight. Everyone feels like they've built a good cortex of players. Everything seems to be working well, and we're going to find out. While we're here in the pregame, we'll get a little bit of backstory on where the Predators came from, how some of their players came to be, and moreover, what you can expect to see from them tonight. Is it really that bad? I do apologize sincerely for the poor stream quality. That is not our fault. We are on public Wi-Fi here at the Bojangles Coliseum, and that can get kind of crowded sometimes. Rumor has it that the Energy is streaming this game too, though I haven't seen them, but if that is true, they will be eating into the bandwidth quite a bit. So, if the video quality becomes intolerable for you, I highly suggest you simply minimize your browser window and let me take over on a radio-style broadcast. We'd like to remind you that Isaac Mueller, wide receiver for the Carolina Predators, will be filming this game on a separate camera and much higher quality. It will be uploaded soon after this game is over. Well, I mean, what are we running that we can shut down? Upgraded our bandwidth this winter. Oh, that's beautiful. I told you they duped this. I wouldn't try it because we got that 15 gigabyte limit. It ain't worth going over. over there if you need me to. And we'd like to welcome you guys back. We apologize sincerely for those technical difficulties, but at this point in time, it looks like our Wi-Fi problems are at least temporarily solved. We thoroughly hope, better might be a better word there, and it looks like we've returned just in the nick of time. If you can pan that camera over there, both teams are set to come out of the tunnel. The Carolina Predators in white uniforms and white trunks with red helmets, the Energy in yellow trunks and yellow jerseys with black helmets. So for those of you unfamiliar, most of the Carolina Predators on this roster have some form of arena football experience, primarily with the Upstate Dragons, a team that folded last season. They began 2 years ago as a traveling team, and their main cortex of players from that season has returned to the Predators. Interestingly enough, now to note, in their second year of existence, the Carolina Upstate Dragons were based in Anderson, South Carolina, which is now the home of the Carolina Cowboys. Interestingly enough, most of the players from that second-year team are playing for the Cowboys.
Number 33, Mark Greenville Jr.
And out come the Carolina Predators. They're giving us a team introduction, which I've got to say I did not expect. Lots of hospitality here from the folks at the Bojangles Coliseum.
Number 6, Donald Jones. Number 57, Robert Lady Jr. Number 51, Frankie Littlejohn. Number 7, Marcus Littlejohn. Number 5, Octavius Love. Number 3, Joshua Vargas. Number 17, Kevin McLean. Number 2, Ricky McKinney. Number 60, William Thaxton. Number 11, James Rogers. Number 15, David Ruffin. Number 38, Kelvin Sessoms. Number 77, Coyle Kennedy. And number 8, Sharon Mortar. Introducing the staff of your Carolina Energy.
And both teams looking incredibly sharp tonight, I've got to say. The Predators have some of the best uniforms in the league, if I do say so myself, but the Energy definitely not far down the list either.
Game 10 Operations Director, Brittany Coleman.
Now, interesting note on the quarterback situation for the Carolina Energy. Their starter, presumably, is going to be Stephen Colin out of Mars Hill University, who won a championship in a Northern double motion-based arena league back in 2016 with the Vermont Bucks. Last year, he spent some time with the East Carolina Torch. Now he is here, and he is certainly a big-time playmaker. Very similar to both Marcus Littlejohn and Ricky McKinney in the sense that he is a mobile quarterback. Not quite run first, but definitely a guy that can get things done with his feet. Come the Choppers, a staple of home teams in this league for one reason or another. Seems like every game, the home team gets let out by a crew of bikers. I couldn't tell you why myself, but it certainly is intimidating, especially since they're circling right across the visiting bench.
Introducing the coaching staff of your Carolina Energy. The assistant head coach and defensive coordinator, Monterey Evans. Wide receiver coach, Anton Callaway. Line coach, Coach Sherman. Linebacking coach, Jermaine Smith. Special team quarterback coach, former Carolina Panther, Vinny Dolly. Introducing your Carolina Energy. From Lincoln University, PA, number 0, wide receiver, Brandon Rose. From Lincoln University, number 3, wide receiver, Perry Floyd. From UNC Charlotte, number 4, defensive back, Artie Holmes. From Washington State University, number 5, defensive back, Ian Bell. From Miami, Ohio University, number 6, defensive back, Tony Reed. From North Carolina Central University, number 9, defensive back, Saeed Mohammed. From Catawba, number 12, wide receiver, Scooby Ryan. From Mars Hill University, number 14, quarterback, Aaron Harbison. From Johnson Smith University, number 18, our kicker, Eric Amaya. From Johnson C. Smith University, number 20, defensive back, Carlo Thomas. From Mississippi University, number 25, linebacker, running back, Lazarius Shelby. From East Gaston High School, number 28, running back, Josh Doster. From UNC Pembroke, number 49, linebacker, Fred Williams. From North Carolina Central University, number 55, offensive tackle, Marley Conley. From Johnson C. Smith University, number 60, defensive lineman, Rashad Duke. From Langston University, number 71, offensive lineman, Raphael Smiley. From Arkansas Tech University, number 82, wide receiver, Roger Jackson.
Power for his laptop.
From London International University, number 90, defensive lineman, Daquan Harvin. From Greenville State University, number 92, offensive lineman, Leon Hill.
Is there room for him to set up a laptop right
From the University of North Alabama, number 99, defensive tackle, Freddie
You can still plug in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the outlet's over there.
Okay.
From Glenville State University, give it up for our quarterback, number 2, Stephen Cole. Introducing our head coach from Abbeville, South Carolina, Irvin Bronson.
So a dramatic series of introductions there for the Carolina Energy. They still seem to be riding momentum from that playoff berth last season, if that entrance was any judge.
A 22-man push-up to represent the 22 fallen soldiers who commit suicide daily. It will be led by United States Marine Corps Sergeant
22-man
and
push-up
Purple Heart and
salute.
Bronze Star
22
recipient
veterans that
Vinny
commit suicide
Dolly.
daily. And a wonderful gesture and salute to our country there by the Carolina Energy. And right now it looks like both teams are getting ready to take the field for the singing of the national anthem.
Introducing our chaplain, the pastor of Sugar Creek Church of Christ, Brian Smith, for today's pregame prayer.
And preceding the national anthem, we will have a pregame prayer.
If you would pray with me. Our Father God, we thank you for another day. Father, we're thankful for this opportunity to come out and to support this great game, a game that's changed many lives. Father, we pray a special prayer for the protection of all these players. May they play the game the right way, in the right spirit. May you bless them, Father God, to all come out victorious. Father, we pray that you keep them from all hurt, harm, and danger. We thank you for both organizations, Lord God, as they continue to minister to these players, and as these players continue to minister to their families. May you bless them all. Bless this game. Bless this city. In Jesus' name we do pray. Amen.
Introducing the color guard, the Raleigh Recruiting Battalion Color Guard. For the introductions for our honorary coin toss, here is Carol Wolford.
And the Energy have brought out Carol Wolford as the honorary coin toss member of the Carolina Energy.
I'd like to welcome Donald Wolford. He's a retired NFL Marine. Donald Wolford built the foundation of his sports.
I apologize, that is one Donnell Wolford, an NFL veteran.
At Douglasburg High School. He was a three-sport star in Douglasburg football, basketball, and track. He attended Clemson University, where he became one of the best cornerbacks in Clemson's history. Dono was also named two-time All-American while at Clemson and was voted one of the greatest Clemson Tigers of the 20th century. As a first-round pick for the Chicago Bears in 1989, Donnell started every game from 1989 to 1996 before being traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Please welcome Donnell Wolford.
Frankie, a little Littlejohn had to take a quick break before he goes out for the coin toss, getting the rest of the team fired up and ready for action. I can tell you, I met with some of the guys on Friday. They are fired up enough. If they get any more energized, it'll be pretty scary. The captains for the Carolina Predators, number 51, Frankie Littlejohn, 57, Ridge Laney, number 2, Ricky McKinney, and number 0, Donnie Bird. Captains for the Carolina Energy, I saw number 2, Stephen Colin, number 0, Brandon Rowe, number 49, Fred William, and number 25, Lazarus Shelby. Lazarus, that is quite a fun name.
Carolina Predators, visiting team. Is the head, you go on top, like this. Go defer your options, second half, go like this. You want the ball. Predators want the ball, and directly defer.
And the Predators called heads. It was heads, and they have deferred their option to the second half like any proper arena football team should do. For those of you unfamiliar with the rules of arena football, strap in because it is a wild ride. The field is 50 yards by 50 yards long and 85 feet wide with 8-yard end zones on each side. We still have a 60-minute clock divided into 4 15-minute quarters, but that clock will run constantly except following point after attempts, the time between those and touchdowns, the time between those and kickoffs, and any penalties that may occur. But during the last minute of each half, call it the 1-minute warning, outdoor timing rules return to what you normally see, where incomplete passes and out-of-bounds plays will stop the clock, and during that 1 minute, teams will often scramble to make sure they are the last ones to score. And it looks like we are about ready to set this thing into motion. Oscar Moza, the kicker for the Carolina Predators on the hands team, Ron Moore, Octavius Love, and others. And Moza squibs this one over the middle. It is picked up by an Energy member who is immediately taken down. That's number 15, I believe. Devin Ruffin, if I'm not mistaken. No, correction, that is number 6.
Tackled by Donald Jones.
Yes, one Donald Jones there on the tackle. And the Predators defense will come out. Been really excited about this unit. Very, very excited. And while we're at it, let's take a look at the impact players for your Carolina Predators on defense. Your impact players, MAC linebacker Mitchell Harris, number 56, at 6'4", 245, and number 5, Octavius Love at deep safety. Octavius, fun bit of trivia, a cousin of Marcus Lattimore from South Carolina. Both linebackers will drop. Colin back to pass. He's looking deep. Got a man. Underthrown. Knocked away by Octavius Love. What a play. The Energy tried to open things up downfield initially, and Octavius Love says, not today. Second down and a long 10 coming up for the Energy. And there is our impact player right there.
Broken up by Octavius.
Second and 10.
Second and 10.
Second and 10. Colin in the shotgun. Man in motion is number 12, Scooby Bryant. Colin looking deep again. He's on the move. Gonna throw this one, and it's intercepted by Donald Jones! And the receiver's trying to strip it. He needs to just get down, and he's not going down, and he finally does. What a way to open things up for the Predators. Incredible. The Energy not showing a lot of respect. 2 straight deep shots there. And the Predators not fooled and not intimidated. and out comes the starting offense. A bit of an interesting situation at quarterback for the Predators. To my knowledge, we are going to be running a 2-quarterback system. Both Ricky McKinney and Mark Littlejohn will see substantial playing time. Their skill sets are simultaneously very different and very similar. Ricky has a big arm, likes to go deep. Mark has a big arm too. It's still getting bigger. Seems like it gets stronger with every throw he makes, but he's definitely more predicated on the short passes. And Ricky in the shotgun. Fullback, who's number 0, Donnie Bird. Everybody trying to get themselves lined up, and something went wrong. And a few first game jitters there for the Preds. A delay of game called. That is another thing you'll see. Mark likes to go fast. Ricky kind of likes to slow things down a little bit. So some delay games may be imminent. Man in motion is number 15, Devin Ruffin. Snap to McKinney, he's back to pass, looking, caught by number 11, Wyatt Rogers, down to the 25, a gain of 10 there.
Pass from Ricky McKinney caught by James Rogers.
And a big gain there on first down. The Preds coming out and showing that they're not fooling around. And they will huddle up. Ricky, to my knowledge, is designing all these plays on the spot. He's got the instructions there on his wristband, but as far as I know, he does not have any plays written down. The IT engineer, definitely a very smart man. Wyatt Rogers, your X receiver. Devin Ruffin, Y. And Kevin Sessoms, your Z receiver. Ricky going deep under duress, caught in traffic by Devin Ruffin! Wow!
Pass complete to David.
Wow! 2 straight passes there. 2 straight completions, which is more than we could ever say for the Dragons. And just like that, it is 1st and goal for the Predators, following a turnover on the opening drive. So far, things not going too well for the Energy. They'll look for a big shift in momentum here. Ruffin going to loop around to the left-hand side. Kinney back to pass, looking under duress. He's going to run. He's got some room. He's faster than he looks, but he can't get too far. Only a gain of around 3 or so. They'll call it 2nd and goal. It'll depend on the spot. And we will wait. 2nd and goal from the 3. And Mike Williams, head coach, giving everyone a little bit of coaching. You always wonder right here, does Mark Littlejohn come in? He is a bit more of a runner than Ricky. Not as fast, but definitely more agile, or at least seemingly so. Ricky, more of your power run if you want to try a QB blast or something quick up the middle. McKinney going to hand off to Donnie Bird, who was met in the backfield by a host of Energy players. And down goes Donnie Bird. They were ready for the run up the gut there. And it'll depend on the spot, but I believe, yes, that's going to go as a loss of 2. So now 3rd and 6. Goal to go here for the Predators. Ricky McKinney piloting his men. So far has not thrown an incompletion yet. 2 of 2 for 25 yards or so. $29 yards, if I'm not mistaken there. Ruffin into motion again. Ruffin's open in the end zone, but he runs out of time. Ricky, under duress, takes a big shot right at the sticks and falls forward for an extra yard. He had Ruffin open in the end zone, but by the time he saw him, it was too late, and he had to roll out. 4th down and goal from the 5. A big play coming up here for the Predators offense. You need to have your best call right here.
A great defensive stand. Let's hear it for your Energy.
And Williams signaling for the field goal, and out trots Oscar Moza. Mark Littlejohn, the 2nd quarterback, not 2nd string, just 2nd quarterback, will be the holder. Moza did perform pretty well in practice today, struggled from long distance, but this appears to be well within his range of accuracy. It will be a 23-yard field goal attempt for the rookie kicker. It is up and just to the left. So, a big drive comes up with nothing. But the Predators have outgained the Carolina Energy 29 yards to 0 at this point, and they did it with a quick dink and dunk passing game that perhaps unfortunately was forgotten in the red zone. But you live and you learn, and the Predators will certainly learn from any mistakes they made there. This is a team that has been very adamant. They are all about adjustments, constantly looking for defensive weaknesses, things they can exploit to make themselves better. You'll know they've gotten a lot of information from that drive, and they've gotten a lot of information from this one too. Let's see how the Energy respond. Let's see how the Predators respond to those responses.
You holding up okay, Isaac? You holding up okay?
All right. Easy pickings. Easy pickings. Isaac Mueller, our cameraman, and something went wrong. A flag flies. Colin's pointing at the Predators' defensive line, but Mitchell Harris is clapping. Little he said, she said down there. And the flag is picked up. Perhaps a bit of a formatting issue there for the referees. Nothing much happened. Mike Williams adjusting his defense at the last minute to respond to this trip formation from the Energy. No apparent motion. And that is something they do when they want to run the ball. They do not motion receivers. And they were ready for it, but just couldn't come through at the line. They were able to take him down, but not after a big gain. 8 yards there on the ground for the Energy. Mitchell Harris on the tackle.
2nd and 2.
Mitchell Harris appears to be in a jack linebacker right now. Kelvin Sessoms, the fullback linebacker, in at Mac. But both of them will drop. That's another run up the middle. The Energy get the first down, and number 28 stumbles forward past the marker. That is Josh Doster. And judging by the Energy's offensive philosophy, they are a very run-heavy team. I've got a feeling I will be calling Mr. Doster's name quite a lot tonight.
Brought down by Mario Holly. First down, Energy.
And that is a first down for the Energy. Their first of the game. 9:17 remaining in the first quarter. Colin sends a man into motion, drops back to pass, looking long, looking very long, has 12 wide open over the middle, and tries to square up, and cannot take him down. Finally, still going, jinxed it into the end zone, goes number 12. That is Scooby Bryant, breaking tackle after tackle there. Stephen Allen initially had the contact, couldn't bring him down. The rest of the Predators team couldn't either because the convoy of Energy players came in there, and from there it was just a war of attrition, and the Energy won that time. Out trots the backup quarterback, Aaron Harbison, to hold this field goal attempt for number 18, Eric Amaya. So the momentum quickly shifting in this game, as it always does in arena football. Amaya out to attempt this. Amaya to attempt this point after attempt. Kick is up and very high. We will find out. No signal yet. And they say it's good. So the Energy take the early lead, 7-0 after Colin responds from an interception he threw on the first drive. Again, there's those adjustments. They knew deep game was not working. Octavius Love in his secondary had those deep passes on lockdown. The Energy went to the ground with a quick, some short stuff. They were able to get into the end zone. Now, what adjustments will we see the Predators make? Will they want to keep things going slow, or will they go to Marcus Littlejohn for some speed? Amaya will stay on the field. Try and kick this one deep. He got some big leg. Behind a few kicks and warm-ups. Octavius Love and Stephen Allen back to receive. And everyone anxiously awaiting the signal. The referee heads to the sidelines. We should be getting a whistle any moment now.
Start when he kick it or when he kick it?
Should start when they kick it. Amaya backed up, sends this one deep. He's got some leg on it, clearly going for that Uno. It's not quite going to make it. Muffed by Stephen Allen, but he's got some room. Out past the 5, and he won't make it much further. Falls forward to the 7-yard line, and the Predators will take over from there. Devin Ruffin comes out onto the field. Big number 72, Brandon Bingham comes out, as does Rich Laney and Ricky McKinney. So Ricky going to get another shot. His receivers once again are Wyatt Rogers, Devin Ruffin, and Kevin. And one, Kevin McClure.
Stop automatically.
Huh? McKinney back to pass under, heavy to rest, but he's got a man open! Just out of reach for Devin Ruffin. He gave it everything he had, but the offensive line couldn't hold up. If McKinney had just a split second longer, that one would have gone for 6. The Energy playing short there, perhaps thinking that they can cover the short routes and bank on the defensive line hitting home. And now, how do the Predators adjust to that? The Energy start playing deep. Do they assume they won't? It all remains to be seen. Brandon Bingham declares as the tight end. Ruffin seems to be the constant motion man these days. He'll go into the slot. Got a man close to him, and Ruffin is shoved down, but it doesn't matter because Wyatt Rogers has the catch out far past the first down marker to the 20-yard line on the field he once played on last year with the Dragons. Interesting note, this is actually the same field surface that the Dragons played on last year. It was shipped from Anderson to Carolina during the offseason. And Wyatt Rogers is now reunited with the field. He spent a game back on March 30th, 2018. Big 12-yard completion there to Wyatt Rogers from Ricky McKinney. The short routes to him have been money so far. And Ruffin got away with a little bit of an offsides. McKinney's going deep, but Ruffin falls. And perhaps fortunately, it is over the heads of everyone involved. Number 5 for the Energy, Ian Bell out of Washington State, the closest man to it.
Ian Bell in coverage for the Energy.
So Ruffin looks to be subbing out right now. The posts to him have been Ricky's favorite play so far, though Wyatt's short routes have been more viable to this point. And the 5'7" speedster Jerron Moore checks in at receiver. 28 yards to pay dirt for the Carolina Predators. Donnie Bird and Ricky McKinney in the backfield. And Ricky was not ready for the snap, and that is going to be a turnover. The Energy corral it. Something went wrong with the snap count there. And just like that, the Energy have a chance to go up 2 possessions. This will be their 3rd scoring attempt of the game. They will take over from the Carolina 16-yard line. The Predators defense in need of a big stand right here. Stephen Colin coming back out onto the field. He made up for that interception, but all in all, really hasn't done much. Just 1 completion so far, and it came on that second drive, that big touchdown pass to Scooby Bryant. Both teams appear to be going shotgun all the time. As you saw in that last play, it can cause some very, very big problems. Colin back to pass. It's a quick screen, and Octavius Love! No, Donald Jones sniffed that out immediately. He was not fooled. Roger Spider-Man Jackson there on the reception. Once a Jacksonville Shark, I believe, 3 years ago. A very, very talented wide receiver, but when a DB is draped over you immediately after you make the reception, there's not much you can do. They'll mark that as a loss of 3, I believe. Colin back to pass again. He has a man open in the flat, but it closes off. He's going deep for Bryant again. No, it's not Bryant. and it's number 82, Roger Jackson once more, redemption, and he gets down to the 1 yard line, and no, they're calling that a touchdown.
That's an entry touchdown.
Well, whatever happens, I suppose they would have gotten in anyway with their running game. Eric Amaya out to attempt a point after and send the Energy up 14-0 on the Predators.
Extra point attempt.
Kick is up high again, and once more, no signal. I think if he sends them high, they're just going to give them to him, because the scoreboard now reads 14-0. 4 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in the first quarter. The Predators in a hole after coming out with some momentum in the game's opening minutes.
It's time for
Bring up that topic of adjustments. What do you do now? In a hole, down, definitely where you don't want to be. What do? The Energy, their defensive line has been breaking through the offensive line of the Predators with uncanny efficiency thus far. How do you respond to that? Do you hit them with a tight end screen? It's risky. Ricky could get hit pretty hard. But at the same time, a tight end screen, remember in arena football, one of the offensive linemen, the one on the opposite side of the field, the X receiver, is eligible to go out for a pass. It's extremely risky because it leaves you with one lineman short, but at the same time, he is usually unblocked down the field, and it can result for some big gains. Octavius Love and Stephen Allen back once again. Eric Amaya sends this one deep. And this one will be fielded by Allen once more. Had a little trouble, but he's got Love in front of him, and he is taken down at the 4-yard line by a host of Energy players. So the kick return game not looking too good. And out comes Ricky McKinney for a third attempt. Starting in no man's land at the 5-yard line, a rather generous spot in my opinion. And right now the Predators looking for something, anything to get them going. A tight end screen or just some quick passes to Wyatt, definitely their most viable options. But with the ball on the right, College Ash and Wyatt all the way on the left-hand side, maybe Ruffin or McClern are the ones that need to be looked at. Ruffin going to go into motion on the left-hand side. Ricky looking, got Wyatt, and Wyatt dropped it. Might have been a good drop. I don't think it was an intentional, but had he caught that, he likely would have lost a yard. Perhaps Ricky saw that and threw it low intentionally. Number 49 has thrown his towel into the stands for unknown reasons. That was Fred William. I wonder if he'll need that back. Ricky needs to be very careful here, very careful indeed. He's standing on the goal line. When he takes this snap, he'll back up into the end zone, and that one was almost caught by Wyatt off the hands, and for a moment it looked like Ruffin was going to be able to make the catch, but it took an odd bounce and fell out of harm's way somewhere around the 25, and now it's a long 3rd and 10 for the Predators in very, very treacherous territory. So right here, you don't want to do something that you'd risk a turnover on. You don't want to do that right now, because the last thing the Energy need is more momentum. You want to, I would imagine this would be a quick play, try and set up an easy 4th down. Ricky under duress, and that might have been intentional grounding. He was out of the pocket, but it didn't get past the line of scrimmage.
That's Fred Williams very quickly in the backfield to break up the pass.
Have no signal yet, and I think they're going to call that an incompletion. Ricky, again, narrowly avoiding disaster. The offensive line breaking down against this Energy defensive front so far, and an incredibly pivotal 4th and 10 here for the Predators. At this point, it may be viable to consider keeping a receiver in the backfield for pass protection. They got away with a bit of a false start. Ruffin was not ready for it, and just off the fingertips. But we've got a flag down around the line of scrimmage. This might be that false start. I thought he got some extra yards. Lights clapping. Offsides on the Energy, so that'll make 4th and 10 a 4th and 5, or no, automatic first down. So the Predators catching a big break. And correction, it is still 4th and 5. Yep, I'm looking at the down markers backwards. That's it. Yeah, 4th and 5. So perhaps a bit more manageable, but equally pivotal is this 4th down attempt for the Predators. McKinney escapes. Going. He's got the first down. On the ground goes Ricky McKinney with a big first down for the Predators, keeping the chains moving. And it's important to have that evasiveness as a quarterback, not only to get out of the pocket when things go wrong, but make people miss after the fact and get yourself in position to get some yardage, and then when the play's over, get down so you don't get hurt. Marcus Jamaica Russell apparently checked into the game at some point. I never saw him, but he is checked out. Devin Ruffin is checked out, and Jerron Moore is in at the Y position. Moore gets jammed hard, going deep for Kevin McLaurin, and it is incomplete. Nobody was guarding Wyatt over there on the left sideline, but I believe the DB that was covering him migrated over to try and help out against Kevin well after the ball was thrown. Second down and 10, we have an offensive line substitution. 77 comes out, and number 94, Super Davario Holly, comes in to try and help this pass protecting scheme. Davario has caught a couple of passes in practice, though Bingham is the more viable tight end receiver, and he declares as such here. Definitely, though, especially with that MAC linebacker cheating up, need to try and do something to get this defensive line to wind down, and that ball is intercepted. It was underthrown and to the inside. The target was Jerron Moore, only 5'7", against Artie Holmes, who has 4 inches on him. And an unfortunate ending to a rather promising drive. The Energy will trot out and try to extend their lead to 21. 13 seconds left in the opening quarter. So adjustments have been made on all sides. The Predators, after seeing that the Energy were deep-minded on that first drive, came out and started guarding deep. The Energy came out and ran it, and were able to score on their next 2 possessions. Then it became clear that 2 options were very viable for the Predators, but scratch that because nobody is set to go into motion, so this is a run. Colin motioning to one of his receivers. And it's a direct snap to the running back. Sniffed out there, but 33 was not able to make the tackle. That was number 28, Josh Doster. Another gain of 8 yards, and that is the end of the first quarter. The Predators in a hole, 14-0 after an early start.
That's the end of the first quarter.
All right, yeah, you can cut it until we come back. Oh, a first half to forget for the Predators thus far. It has not been fun, except for those first 2 plays. On defense, the Predators deferred the toss. The Energy took over and immediately came out slinging it. First pass was deflected away by Octavius Love on the 5-yard line, traveled about 45 yards through the air. The second one was intercepted by Donald Jones. 2 completions later, the Predators were on the 8-yard line, and not much of note has happened for them since. Nolan getting the last signals in from his coach in the shotgun. Josh Doster in at running back behind him. And another direct snap. Colin faked the high one and very convincingly did so. Doster is tackled well past the sticks once again, out past the 25 into Predator territory. Ball will be spotted at the 22. No, the 20.
It's another double tap. First down.
Colin did a very convincing job of faking that high snap. I think that was why he got as many yards as he did. Now look at this. Doster's lined up pretty close to Colin horizontally, but something went wrong. And I'm not sure what that's about, because neither team appears to have been charged a timeout, so perhaps a formatting error again. Tripped to the left-hand side for Stephen Colin and Josh Doster. Predators looking for another stop. And a third direct snap and a missed tackle from Kelvin Sessoms. And Doster going down the sideline, taken down around just outside the goal line, if not past it. And the offense remains on the field, so they're going to say it was down at the 1. Stephen Allen was there to knock him out right at the last second. But again, I can see it right here. This is another direct snap, because Doster is really close to that center from a horizontal standpoint. And there it goes. Touchdown Energy. Just like that. 4 straight direct snaps from the running back. Energy saw something. They saw a potential weakness in that run defense from the Predators, and they are exploiting it heartily right now. 4 consecutive direct snaps for the running back, Josh Doster. Listed at 6'2", 320. That's got to be 220. There's no way that man is 320. 320-pound running back would be terrifying. I don't think he'll get a direct snap here. And it is up and blocked! That's the kind of momentum they needed, but a flag is down. Something went wrong on the tail end of that play. That was Donald Jones breaking past the line to bat the kick down, but we'll check the flag. If this stands, that is definitely the kind of momentum shift or just any big play that the Carolina Predators could use. But appear to be heading back towards the goal line, and it looks like that will be on them.
Defense, number 6. We'll retry the game.
And I'm not entirely sure what happened there, but I imagine that number 6 there was the 5th man on the line of scrimmage. You can only have 5. He's about to get flagged again if he doesn't back off some. Well, the ref says he's okay. And a direct snap to Doster. Who would have guessed? He goes into the end zone. 22-0 now. The Energy lead the Predators. Again, just the adjustment made by the Energy, and you got to imagine they're going to run that shotgun direct snap to Doster until the Predators figure out a way to stop it. Which I imagine means putting some defensive lineman in at linebacker just to try to stop it. Because at this point, whatever was going on is not working. Though number 33, Mark Granville Jr., 6'2", 227, was in Jack linebacker on that drive. Maybe not the best choice against a run-heavy team. It's likely that we'll see Mitchell Harris joined by Kelvin Sessions the next time they come out for defense. But until then, the Predators are going to look to get something going on offense, and Ricky McKinney is on the blocking team for this return. Octavius Love and Stephen Allen II once again back deep to receive this. Interesting turn of events thus far. Both teams ready for action here with 12:58 left to play in the second quarter. And it's an onside attempt, but that did not even get close to going 10 yards. My, oh my, and okay. Yeah, that should be a fumble, because 20 kind of acted like he was going down, but he fielded the kick, and I never saw him go down. And it was stripped and recovered by Mark Granville II. But a flag was thrown immediately afterward.
That's one of the worst kicks I've ever seen.
Yeah, so the onside kick attempt failed. possibly recovered, I think. I mean, it was clearly touched by number 20 of the Energy. So that would mean the ball is live, and Greenville was able to strip that. Yeah, that's a touchdown. Can we get the replay?
I did. Just watched it.
Yeah, let's take a look. Instant replay. Might have to move scoreboard there. Yeah, I'm looking at it. That is a touchdown. And there we go. So a big shift in momentum there for the Predators. The Energy looking to put the nail in the coffin early with the surprise onside kick. It did not go quite according to plan. And Mark Granville Jr. with a heady play, able to come in there, strip the ball from the kicker, and go ahead and get the Predators on the board with a special teams touchdown, the likes of which, to my knowledge, did not occur with the Dragons in 2 years. Mark Littlejohn to hold this kick. Oscar Mozo. It was Mark Granville. Oscar Mozo to attempt this one. A bit closer than his earlier field goal attempt. He was pretty good on these earlier. Bases are out. Kick is good. You got it. And no good. Never mind.
Extra point attempt is wide right.
Judging the accuracy of these field goals is always tricky from up in the booth. You never can quite figure out exactly where the ball is. Or so it seems. Now, the Predators going to need to make a major adjustment here on defense. They've got to figure out how to stop this direct snap to Josh Doster. If they don't, the Energy will continue to run over them, much like the Cape Fear Heroes did 2 years ago when they beat the Dragons 38-6 in a very similar fashion. Again, I would lobby to say at least put some heavier personnel in at linebacker. Doster definitely more of a strength back, not going to kill you with his speed, or at least from what I've seen he won't. Try and put some big guys in at linebacker and hope that's enough, because the indoor game is designed to make it very difficult to run linebacker restrictions. To note that both linebackers must be inside the defensive box or between both defensive ends at the start of the snap. The Jack linebacker may go sideline to sideline and no further than 6 yards back, and the Mac linebacker may go only 6 yards back and between the defensive ends. And he's got a wide open lane down the sideline. Mitchell Harris, the last one, trips him up, and he goes down at the 4-yard line. Harris was the last line of defense, and he will likely stay on the field for an attempt at a goal line stand here for the Predators. Kick was short and fielded, and then taken right up the sidelines. Great blocking there by the Energy allowed that run back. So the Predators linebacker personnel, not entirely sure on it yet. Looks like Mark Granville will stay in. Surprised Kevin McLaurin isn't in there. He's listed as a wide receiver linebacker. I think he might be a better fit, especially in this kind of goal line scenario. But perhaps they're expecting a pass. Though Doster is close to Colin again. Would not be surprised to see that direct snap. And scratch that. It's a handoff to Doster, and it works anyway. Touchdown Energy.
Josh Doster! That's an entry.
28-6. The Energy lead right now. And Eric Amaya to attempt another field goal.
And now, the Moving Star extra point attempt.
Doster has looked unstoppable thus far. Predators need to make an adjustment, and fast. At this point, I'd lobby to say a big guy in the box wouldn't have helped with that outside run there, but when they get into the open field, they've tended to just run it up the middle with them, and if that's the case, I would definitely consider putting one of the defensive or offensive linemen in at linebacker and seeing if they still attempt to run it, because right now, the strength of the Energy has been their running game. Their only foreseeable weakness has been their deep passing game, so if somehow the Predators can get the Energy into some kind of third or fourth and long situation, be in good hands. The problem is that they have to figure out how to do that. And to do that, they'll have to stop the running game. So far, it's been much easier said than done. believe the Energy have not had a single rush that has gone for less than 1 yard, which in arena is very nice.
It's time for today's pizza kickoff.
And Amaya likely not going to attempt another onside kick. And it was an illusion there. I thought there were only 7 players for the Energy out there on the field for a second. Ricky McKinney among the blocking convoy for Stephen Allen and Octavius Love. This kick is deep. Could be headed out of the back of the end zone. That's a live ball. Octavius has to get this past the line of scrimmage. Making some men miss, and he gets out to the 2, avoiding disaster. Yeah, ball off the wall is live. It's a heads-up play by Love. And now, once again, Predators in very unfavorable territory. And Mark Littlejohn checking in at quarterback. He likes to go under center. That could help out with the offensive line situation. On that note, it feels like it's been forever since we've seen the Predators' offensive line. Maybe they've gotten some rest. Though at this point, even though the ball is this close to the end zone, with the struggles the offensive line has had so far, I would definitely try a tight end screen to Brandon Bingham. Though you have to watch out for Flight 711, the infamous connection between Mark Littlejohn and Wyatt Rogers, who, until Rogers suffered a hamstring injury a few weeks before training camp, was one of the best connections in the league. And Rogers was going to be open on that play, but I believe we have some kind of delay of game. And it's unfortunate, but it doesn't really do much because it's a half the distance to the goal penalty. They only lose a yard. If you're going to have a delay game, I suppose that's the place where you should do it. Ruffin double checking on the call. Receiver set stays the same. Quarterback is the only thing that has changed so far. And we expected this regardless of the outcome. Littlejohn and Ricky are both going to see substantial playing time. Wyatt Rogers unguarded. Trying to cut it upfield. Gets 5 on that one out to the 5-yard line. So he's able to give the Predators some breathing room. 2nd and 5 coming up. And definitely like the play call there. Again, the Energy look to have backed off the line, even if it's just a little bit. If they start guarding those quick passes to Rogers again, it's usually a signal that it's time to go deep. If you can figure out the patterns that these defenses run, you're in good hands. And there was a switch right at the end, and Mark picked up on it, and that is Kevin McClurn, the big 6'4", 240-pound receiver, the big traffic guy, and he's able to pick up a first down. So Littlejohn getting the ball out quick, getting the ball out short, looking to get this Energy defense to cheat up, and usually when they start to bat balls down close to the line of scrimmage, that's a sign that you can hit them over the top with a double move.
Marcus Littlejohn out, quarterback for the Predators.
Littlejohn under duress, going deep for Rogers, and that one is overthrown, but Rogers got shoved into the boards there, and I believe they're going to say that was uncatchable. Though, if you've seen Wyatt Rogers' highlight reel, nothing is uncatchable for this man. If he jumps up in the air, the chances of him catching the ball anomalously increase. I can't explain it myself, but it is a sight to see. He puts Julio Jones to shame on occasion with his jumping catches. He was not able to pull it off there. Perhaps a bit too early for the shot, perhaps not. Only time will tell. Until we get a chance to reflect, it's 2nd down and 10, though. No, that was a signal for play. No, now we got another signal, and there's no way that's another delay game. One of the challenges of arena football is that you don't have a designated play clock because this is technically a hockey venue, and they don't have play clocks in hockey to my knowledge. And the refs... A media timeout. So,
I didn't call it.
So the Predators will have a chance to regroup here after that missed deep shot to Wyatt Rogers from Mark Littlejohn. Mike Williams will try to rally his troops and get something going. So right now, again, the Predators have made an adjustment. Now what did the Energy do? There were 2 straight quick passes. Just short ones trying to get the ball out fast before that end of the defensive line could do anything. And then a deep shot to try and open things up downfield. It was unsuccessful. Maybe should have been a PI call. Maybe there shouldn't have been. I'm not sure. I'm no one to judge. But what do you do now? It's 2nd and 10. Knowing Little John, this is definitely going to be some kind of quick pass. Maybe a receiver screen. Williams rallying his troops. Maybe he's got to play up his sleeve. Now, this offensive line has to get Little John some time. The energy defense has been insurmountable thus far.
Introducing the North Carolina Giants Youth Group.
All the Predators still conversing eagerly. They're just waving up at the camera. They all seem a bit surprised at this point. I don't believe anyone expected the energy to get up this big this quickly. Predators need to find a way to adjust to this defensive line pressure. So far it's been the quick game, but when the energy have come up to stop it, the deep game has not been there. And when it has, the offensive line hasn't given the quarterbacks enough time to throw the ball more than 10 yards downfield. So Williams, maybe that's what he's talking about, some potential adjustments to the blocking scheme, using the fullback to block some edge rushers and try and catch them off guard. Or maybe some trick plays, offensive line or fullback screens, anything to get that defensive line to let up at this point. Predators' offensive line is made up by number 72, Brandon Bingham, number 57, Rich Laney, and number 77, William Thaxton. Now, scratch that, Coity Kennedy is the center for the Predators, and another whistle that could be signaling the end of the media timeout. And the clock will start when the ball is snapped, I presume. Sessum's doing a little dance there at the fullback position. Predators trying to regroup. Little John in the shotgun. He's going to send Moore into motion. That was low but corralled. Rogers open over the middle, and he could not hang on. And this is what has plagued him over the course of his young arena career. He's not been able to come in with those focused catches for one reason or another. It's proven to be very difficult for him. And last season, he had it down pat. He was able to catch with a lot more reliability than usual, but he suffered that hamstring injury in the offseason. Wasn't able to practice a lot, wasn't able to catch a lot, and still appears to have left him to some degree. Rogers, though, still the leading receiver in this game so far. Perhaps for both teams, I'm not sure. Moore loops around. Rogers open short again. Little John got a run, spins, and he falls over in the process, trying to get back a couple of yards and set up a 4th down and a bit more manageable. We're going to call this 4th and 8, a big one for the Predators coming up. Once again, the offensive line breaks down. The energy not letting up with this pressure. 4th down and 8. The fans, a pretty big crowd here tonight. Little John back to pass. The line breaks through. And Rogers, he caught it! Past the 1st down marker, and you could tell he got it because Stephen Colin got really mad, and Rogers jawed off, I believe. And I'm afraid they're going to march that back. Unfortunate turn of events if that's what happened. Still waiting on a signal from the referees. Looks like we're about to get it. And so it is a 1st down for the Predators, but they'll lose 10 yards. They're going to set up 1st and 20. So Wyatt Rogers, like I said, when he jumps up in the air, the chances of him catching the ball seem to inexplicably increase to a dramatic degree, and we saw it there. Oh, interestingly enough, the Predators exactly where they just were.
Predators have the first and 10 from their own 15-yard line.
Completed. Back. This drive started. 8:01 left and counting in this game. Littlejohn looking around. Going to send Moore into motion. And we send the heat. Line breaks down, and that ball is up in the air. And something went wrong. I think Kevin McClure lost it in the lights and didn't go after it. We got a flag down. Littlejohn trying to tell something to the ref. He's pointing forward. The Predators don't seem too upset. Yeah, the flags are down, but both teams seem to be switching sides. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens here. The way Littlejohn's acting, I presume it was an offsides penalty and that he thought he had a free play. And it is a roughing the passer call. 10 yards, so the unsportsmanlike by Wyatt Rogers is effectively wiped off the board. It will remain first down, and Predators in sort of a limbo here. They can't get past midfield.
After the penalty,
Kelvin Sessoms checking the fullback ball right on the 25. Littlejohn getting his guys ready for action. Down 29-6 and looking for an answer. Wyatt's going to go into motion for what I believe is the first time this game. Kevin McClure is checked out. Devin Ruffin is checked back in at the X position. They'll have to watch that play clock. And I believe they'll get it. Littlejohn was backing up before the snap. That should have been a penalty. This one is long, and Rogers over the board, and he caught it! Touchdown! Isaac, did you get that? Did you get that? Isaac! Are you kidding me? Isaac Mueller, our rookie cameraman, did not get that amazing catch in high definition. And our other cameraman, a cursed play that will live on in legend, but not in any physical or digital form unless the Energy are willing to lend us their video footage after this game. But what a response from Mark Littlejohn to Wyatt Rogers. The best catch of Rogers' career, and I'd love to say the AAL season so far. Gets this one back within distance, but that ball has to be dived on. It was not. It's a big man rolling, and he's going to take this all the way to the opposite end zone. 2 extra points there for the Energy. 31-12. The defensive line for the Energy again. Relentless in their pass rush, and that is not a touchdown. That is 2 points for the Energy. I can guarantee you they're going to bump that score up to 35-12 and send the PAT unit out. There's no signal yet from the scoreboard, folks, and they got it. I'm proud of them. 31-12. There you see it on your screen, Flight 711, the connection. That first game with the Upstate Dragons almost 3 years ago to the day. 2 years ago, my bad. Because we were kicking the PAT, so if anything goes wrong on an extra point attempt, huh? No, that's 2. And so, a miscommunication. Something has gone horribly wrong. There's only 5 Predators out there to kick this thing off. Yo, something is really wrong. And now we got 6. Ricky's coming out there. We got Donnie Bird. And we're still waiting on number 8. There he is, Devin Ruffin, volunteering himself to kick this thing off. Or not to kick it off, but at least help with the coverage. Looking for some better coverage than what occurred last time, though. There is number 28, Josh Doster, looking as intimidating as he ever has in front of the man waiting for this kick. Mozo sends it as deep as he can to the opposite side of the field, and his out pass still going to the 15, down the sidelines, taken down at the 8-yard line. And again,
Arnie Holmes on the outstanding kick return, using his teammates, following the blockers.
kick return coverage has not been there for the Predators thus far. Another adjustment they'll need to make. But right now, it seems like there's been so much disparity between these two sides of the ball getting out there. Felt like it'd been a while since we saw the Predators offense, then they went out and scored, and now it feels like it's been a while since we've seen the energy offense. No, at the 7-yard line, I cannot imagine they will do anything other than snap it directly to Josh Doston or hand it off to him, because he has been unstoppable thus far. Defensive personnel groupings remain the same. Predators down by 19. Cover 3 zone look. High snap. Colin going to have to pass. This is batted up, and it's intercepted by Mitchell Harris. What a shift. The one time they try to pass, they overthought it. They overthought it. And Colin throws his second interception of the game.
First arena team I've seen that's better.
Predators will have it first and 10 at the 12-yard line.
Cameraman made a very good point. The energy very well may be the first arena team we have ever seen in person that is better at running the football, at least with single motion rules, which, again, because of those linebacker restrictions, on paper, make it very difficult. No, the energy running the ball haven't had much difficulty. Same can't be said for their passing game. 1 touchdown, but 2 interceptions for Stephen Colin. It's been a rough going so far. This team does have the lead, but the Predators can bite into it.
We got time to get back in this.
Exactly. Moore, McClure, and Rogers. And this is a handoff to Kelvin Sessoms. Tried to get a little bit tricky, but nothing happened. The energy defense, there you go. Those linebacker restrictions, we can get the replay there. You'll see why it's so hard to run. That box is loaded from the start. And then as soon as they hand that ball off, both linebackers, they really don't have anywhere to go except forward. And they do, so they're actually going to call that a loss of 2, 2nd and 12 for the Predators. Littlejohn still in at quarterback. Again, I'm surprised we have not seen the tight end screen to this point. And Littlejohn going to have to roll. He's rolling, throwing, and it's intercepted. That one was really close, but I think they're going to give it to him. And I don't know, nobody's really reacting. That was weird. That was close to hitting the ground. I figured they would give it to him just because they don't have replay around here.
That's an entry.
I don't know what we'll be able to tell on this camera. Littlejohn, it was a forced pass. It was close. We don't have replay, and that's going to go down as a pick 6. So after a big shift in momentum, the Predators had a chance to get back all the way within 12 potentially. And it is intercepted and taken back to the end zone for a score of 4:21 and counting left in this first half, which has been up and down, to say the least. And there's confusion amongst the energy players. They've only got 7 guys out on the field. Number 99, Freddie Reed, is coming out there to make 8. And everyone's ready. Kick is up, and it's good. So 37-12. The energy lead up by 25. 38-12, 26, scratch that. The Predators again looking for an answer. The deep shots without context. And what I mean by that are deep shots that aren't preceded by 3 or 4 quick passes underneath That has clearly not worked thus far for either quarterback to any receiver. It has just resulted in incompletions, overthrows, and interceptions. The short game has worked when the Energy aren't playing for it, but when they do start playing for it, it's really a big question mark. We don't know if the offensive line can protect long enough to allow the quarterbacks to throw deep. We don't know if the receivers can get open. We haven't really had many opportunities to find out. There was a one deep shot to Devin Ruffin early in the game on 4th down that was just out of reach. Would have gone for 6. And then Wyatt Rogers' fantastic touchdown reception over the wall. That was unfortunately not caught by either of our cameras. Again, I'll have to ask the Energy and see if they'll loan that clip to us afterward, because that is a highlight no arena football fan can go without. Eric Amaya kicking this one deep. And Stephen Allen set to return this one. And he just takes a knee. You can't do that. That's a live ball. Yeah, that's a live ball, and that is going to be a safety. Yeah, that's either a live ball or failure to return a kick. You have to return in arena. You can't take knees. That's just against the rules, and if they're going to call it a touchback, the ball's going to go out to the 5, but I have a feeling that counts as a safety. And so there you go. 40-12 now. Just a mental error there by Stephen Allen. The Energy go up by 28. 4 touchdowns flat, looking to make it 29 with this extra point attempt.
Ian Bell and Tony Reed making the tackle in the end zone. Safety.
And again, just the kind of things you will not have, but at the same time, the sort of things that unfortunately are to be expected for a team playing the first game in franchise history. Is it smooth? No, it's definitely not. It seems like everybody has this first game jitters, but the Energy got rid of theirs. After just the first few plays, the Predators still trying to get theirs out. As you can see, even on this extra point, not extra point, this will be a kickoff. Just a lot of confusion from everyone. And now we got guys checking off the field again. They've got to get back on the line because we've only got 5 people down there. Yeah, just...
By rule, the receiver must run the ball out of the end zone. He was tackled in the end zone. That's a 1-point safety.
Okay, that is a rule I've never heard. A 1-point safety. I guess it's better than a 2-point safety, but, well... Regardless, the Predators will retain possession? What? I can't complain, but that's certainly an interesting ruling. Oh, wait a second. That is one of the quirks in the AAL. If the receiver's tackled in the end zone, it's the same thing as an Uno. Which, an Uno, for those of you just joining us in this league, the kicker sends the ball through the uprights on a kickoff. It's 1 point for his team, and I forgot about that. I totally forgot. You get a 1-point safety if you tackle the return man in the end zone. So it is not a safety in the sense that possession is given to the Energy. The Predators still going to have a chance to respond. Littlejohn back to pass, standing his own end zone on the run. Out to throw, wide open is Jerron Moore, but at 5'7", the pass is just a bit too tall for him. And Littlejohn, great throw on the run. Usually the kind I really don't like to see across your body, rolling to your right, but he almost got away with it. Comes up to 2nd and 10, but we've seen it week in and week out, year in and year out. Every team at every level of arena football, if your offensive line cannot block, you are going to have a very, very tough time moving the ball. And so far, it has been that much. The Predators' offensive line has just not been able to hold up. And they either have to make some kind of personnel adjustment or figure out some way to gimmick, dare I say, this Energy defensive line into working out. And that one is intercepted. And another pick 6 thrown by Mark Littlejohn. That one wasn't so much a forced pass as it was just a good read by number 20 there.
That's an Adrian touchdown.
Was able to step right in front of the passing lane on that one, and Predators down 45-12. It has not been pretty.
And now, a Morning Star extra point attempt.
And I figured out why it seems like forever between these energy offensive possessions, because they keep scoring on defense. They haven't needed their offense.
Extra points good. Minute 39 left to go. It's 46-12 Energy.
I feel like a broken record. Eric Amaya kick off again. He has had a busy day, I'll give him that. A lot of PATs, a lot of kickoffs. His leg is going to be sore tomorrow. The Energy definitely getting their money's worth.
It's time for Donato's Pizza Kickoff.
Stephen Allen, Octavius Love back to receive. The secondary been a non-factor so far because, again, the Energy just haven't been on offense. This one is deep. That might be going out the back of the end zone. Allen not going to make the same mistake again. Got a convoy in front of him out to around the 10. I thought he was going to make it, but he was taken down right at the end. Ball's going to be spotted around the 8.
Stephen Allen the second on the return, brought down by Carlo Thomas.
So, 46-12 with a minute and 29 left to play. Predators need to do everything in their power to make sure this is the last possession of the first half. They cannot afford to let the Energy put up 50 in 2 quarters. The mental aspects of that, the psychological, everything. They've got to find a way not only to score on this drive, but make sure they score when that clock hits triple zeros. Which means no interceptions, and Ricky McKinney is back in at quarterback. Again, we'll see a change in pace of the offense. More deep shots from Ricky. And that one just falls incomplete. Or maybe got held up there a little bit, maybe didn't. Was trying a quick out, and he was not able to get the ball. Like a play call there by Rick, just making sure to get the ball in and out of his hands. And we're going to hit the media timeout. That comes with a 1-minute warning. 60 seconds left to play. When we return, the Predators looking to find a way to answer. You can start recording again. And we are back live from the Bojangles Coliseum following the 1-minute warning timeout. At this point, I think it might be in the Predators' best interest to just take a knee and send this thing to the half. It's a pretty low-risk play, and the team during the 1 minute warning, if you lose yardage and you have the lead, the clock will stop. But if you lose yardage and don't have the lead, you're fine. So I appreciate the courage involved in continuing to go, but I think at this point it might be in their best interest just to kneel down, because this offensive line is breaking down, and that one's going to be intercepted. A little arm punt there by McKinney on second down, and 9 spins out of a tackle. Can't be tackled, and he goes down at the 21-yard line. So now the Energy with a golden opportunity to hang 50 before the half is over.
On the interception coming out of his shoes.
And that was a ball that just never should have been thrown. I think there was a miscommunication there between Ricky and the receiver. I think that receiver stayed down, and Ricky thought he was going long on the post, which seems to be his favorite route. And Bryson having a little conversation with Stephen Cole, and I'm sure he's telling him, don't screw up. Just make sure we get this ball into the end zone. Of course, to do that, all they've had to do so far is snap it straight to number 28 there, Josh Dostman. Let's see what they do here. So far, the Predators have only been able to stop the passing game with the Energy. The running game has been on all cylinders for them. Bryson finalizing the play. There still appears to be some confusion, and a flag flies. I think that's going to be a delay of game. And there we go. See some first game jitters for the Energy showing. Again, if your call is a direct snap to number 28, I can't imagine how complex the play call would have been. And I suppose it's not my fault to say. Energy with their longest down in distance of the day so far at 15 yards. Colin likely going to pass in this scenario. He slings it over the middle. Wide open is Scooby Bryant and takes a big shot but still stays on his feet. It takes 4 Predators to knock him out of bounds at the 6-yard line. And you could hear that one from up here. What a hit on Scooby Bryant, and even better effort for him to stay upright. And then actually going no huddle here. I think that's kind of an interesting choice, because the clock shouldn't have stopped to reset the chains anyway. And that one is way off the mark. Something went horribly wrong as that ball was released from Colin's hand. So Predators are trying to make the case that it was out of his hand before his arm came forward, but they're going to rule that incomplete. Perhaps if we were playing at the Predators' home field, they would have called that a fumble. Who knows? We don't have replay around here, at least the referees know. We do. The referees don't. It's tough for them to discern how things happen. But incomplete pass inside the 1 minute warning. He'll stop the clock. 33 seconds left to play. Energy looking to go up by 50. Hand off to Josh Doster. Stiff arms a man, and it takes so many men to take him down. He only gains 3 on that one, but he does go out of bounds. The clock will stop at 23 seconds.
Timeout, Energy.
But it's just unbelievable how many tackles it has taken to get one man down for these guys. Likely a result of the fact that the Predators have not practiced in pads at all this offseason. This is likely a lot of these guys' first time tackling in a long time, and Mario Hawley coming off the field. A little banged up on that last play. Calvin Susson's going to check in his place. Sessom is going to come in on the defensive line at the nose position. Man-to-man look from the Predators defensively, looking to give these receivers a little bit of a push before they can get past the line of scrimmage. Scooby Bryant, the man in motion. Rolling back to pass. I thought it was batted down. It wasn't. And that's going to be a touchdown for the Energy. Number 0, I believe, Brandon Rowe. And yes, indeed, Brandon Rowe. I thought one of the players was able to get a piece of that. They could not. Just outside of his reach. And from there it was an easy catch and touchdown completion for the Energy. For the Energy getting it done on the air now after doing it on the ground for most of the first half.
And now, Olympic star, extra point
His Energy up 53-12 with 18 seconds remaining. And fumbled snap. They're going to try to run it in, and down goes the backup quarterback, Mitchell Harris. Puts him into the ground, so Predators stay down by 40. It is 52-12. No extra point there. A big hit by Mitchell Harris.
Tackles made by Mitchell Harris. 18 seconds to go in the half. Your Carolina Energy 52, the Carolina Predators 12.
Again, I've got to say, surprised we have not seen the tight end screen to this point. I think with the offensive line performing as they are, that play might be their secret weapon. Perhaps they're waiting to bust it out at the proper time, which likely won't be now. Just 18 seconds left in the half. They'll probably run this up the middle and call it a day. Just head into halftime and try and make some adjustments from there. If Amaya doesn't try to go on sides, he got a favorable count, and he will send this one deep. Octavius Love has this one. He's on the run, and he got some positive yardage out to the 11 or so, depending on where they spot it.
Octavius Love on the return, brought down by Brandon Rowe.
And the clock will start on the referee's signal. They're going to spot that at the 11-yard line on the opposite hash for one reason or another. And in my direction, they're going to spot that on the 13, so good spot there from Love. Ricky McKinney still the quarterback. And again, one thing Mike Williams has to tell Ricky right now is that you can't force it deep. The Energy cannot be allowed another score. That last one was really bad. Shouldn't have happened. Probably was in their best interest just to run the clock out. Not let the Energy score again, but they tried to go deep, didn't work, was intercepted. So surely they won't try that again, but I think a timeout is called to avoid a delay game penalty.
Timeout. Predators, that's their first charge time out of the half.
That's exactly what happens. Likely no change in the play call here. Again, I can't imagine it was ever too complex to begin with. They've got to just run this clock out and get to halftime. Down 40 is bad enough. You don't want to go down 46 or 47. Ricky and Jerron still conversing back there. Looks like they got everything sorted out. Kinney in the shotgun. Moore, the man in motion. The Energy playing very deep. Ricky going very deep, and that one out of the reach. Very fortunate that wasn't intercepted. He tried the corner post, but Ricky just threw a post corner. A miscommunication there.
Pass intended for Jerome Moore, incomplete.
And the interesting thing there, after all that talk of mine about making sure you just run the clock out, Moore was open on that play. McKinney's just got to lead him a bit towards where that workout anytime sign is in the left-hand end zone. Again, the Energy playing pretty off coverage. And just a QB blast. McKinney. And did he? Somehow or another, can we get the replay on that? I think he shuffled that ball forward in the last second. And he did. Wow. And the Predators take a timeout with 2 seconds left. I think they're going to try and get one last shot at the end zone ready for action. But at the the same time, they got to make sure they're on the same page. Moore got open on that last PCT. I really don't think the Energy expected him to go deep. I really don't. That might have been why he got open, but McKinney's got to make sure he's throwing to the right guy. He's throwing to him in the right spot, and he's leaving him where he needs to be. This ball has to be on target, and he's got to give the receiver some room to run before the reception is made so he can create some separation from that defender across from him. I think he's definitely got the arm to put this thing into the end zone. And we'll see if the offensive line can protect long enough to do it. Moore, the man in motion. Snap is good. McKinney sacked. And perhaps a small glimpse of what the entire game has felt like for the Predators thus far. McKinney was sacked, unrelenting pressure from the Carolina Energy defensive line, and a strong ground attack have been the stories in this one. Predators going to halftime down 52-12. We'll be back soon.
touch your neighbor yet? Give your neighbor a high five and say, I'm getting ready to be connected. I'm getting ready to be connected. God is moving in the heavenlies and touching somebody who's going to touch 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 God, it's connection time. God is getting ready to give you a connection to the person you think is the least of all. And yet still that person is going to introduce you to your next blessing. I feel the Holy Ghost. I feel like lifted. Can I preach like I feel it? I got somebody coming up in the back. Because I'm in the back, don't mean I'm left out. Because I'm in the back, don't mean somebody ain't watching over me. Because I'm in the back, it does not mean that I'm the least. Can I Gangsters on the beat.
Go ahead. I got to do something. Y'all have got the bar for a conversation about.
Dragons, and then the coach decided he didn't like it, just locked him. But he was warming up one day, and he was missing and missing and missing, and I was walking by holding the tripod and just had a freak accident. He nailed it and hit me right in the face, and after that he had missed the rest of the day. So, I mean, all he's got to do is screw up really bad once, and then he's fine. But,
Alright, everybody, let's welcome back the Carolina Energy football team!
Players are returning to the field after that break at the half. Energy celebrating, and rightfully so. They are up 52-12 as we start the third quarter. The Predators looking for any kind of response, and they'll get a chance to do that pretty quickly. They deferred their option to receive at the second half. And our impact plays, if you want to bring those up again, Wyatt Rogers and Mark Littlejohn on the offense, though this is a very interesting development. Wyatt Rogers is in civilian clothes down on the sideline. If we can pan over and get that. This is on the 25. That is not good news for the Predators offense, which needed a spark. Not sure. He came in, like I mentioned, he had that hamstring injury about 5 weeks ago. And he wasn't at 100%, and the concern is that he might have re-injured it. He was supposed to be up here in the booth with us for this first game, but then he decided he wanted to play, and we were worried that he might aggravate that hamstring, but he does appear to be walking fine, so that's a good sign. I don't want to speculate. Though, just a lot of first game jitters and formatting issues on top of some just man-to-man mismatches, perhaps, for the Predators. The offensive line has not been able to hold up against the Energy defensive line, which has sent pressure relentlessly through the first half. Whether or not they'll let up or continue to pressure remains to be seen, and it's really as anyone's guess at this point. Oh, there needs to be some kind of response here for the Predators. I've suggested a tight end screen or a fullback screen all game long, and I really don't think they can hear me from up here, but I'm surely in that 20-minute break, somebody on this 21-man roster brought it up in the locker room, because the tight end screen, even if it doesn't work, it gets those linemen second-guessing. It gets them wondering, okay, is this guy in front of me going to go downfield instead of blocking like he normally does? And it gives them just that split second of hesitation. And on a lot of these plays, that extra split second that tight end screen could give you has really been the difference between completions and interceptions for the two quarterbacks, Mark Littlejohn and Ricky McKinney, who have been under, I'd love to say, the most duress of their careers. They have just had no time to throw. Ball has to come out quickly, but the Energy know that, and they have played with their DBs close to the line to stop those quick passes. It has worked so far. There needs to be some kind of adjustment by the Predators to try and figure out how to slow down this offensive line and how to get those DBs to play a little bit further back off the line. But without Wyatt Rogers in, that's going to be a lot easier said than done. Kelvin McClure is their biggest receiver at 6'4", 245, though to this point he has been a non-factor. His catch and traffic ability, though, is unmatched. And with Rogers out, I imagine he is going to be the go-to guy for both Ricky and Mark in this upcoming quarter. And I'm sure the message from Mike in that locker room was that the first quarter did not happen. It did not exist. There was a glitch in the matrix, and the game has now started over. It is 0-0, and we need to play like it is 0-0. try and mount some kind of comeback effort here. It'll take a Herculean miracle to get back 40 points within 30 minutes. But the Energy managed to score 52, so I suppose anything's possible. Certainly a big task looming for the Predators. They need to find a way to summon the momentum they had on that very first drive. If you weren't here for the first half, the Predators won the coin toss, deferred to the second half. The Energy came out without a lot of respect for the Predator secondary and started slinging it downfield almost immediately. The first play from scrimmage was a deep corner route that was batted away by Octavius Love. The second one was another deep corner that was intercepted by Donald Jones and returned out to around the 10-yard line. Ricky McKinney threw a slant to Wyatt Rogers and then a hitch to Wyatt Rogers, got him all the way down to around the 10-yard line or so. The drive stalled out from there, and nothing else much of note happened for the Predators. But they've got to find a way to recapture that momentum, because for those 4 plays, they were unstoppable. They had everything going for them. They've got to find a way to recapture those feelings. Kind of take that momentum. If they put it in a time capsule, now's the time to dig it up. They got to figure out something. Tight end screen, anything at this point. Irvin Bryson, the head coach of the Carolina Energy, also the owner, perhaps an old friend of the Dragons head coach from 2 years ago, and last year Kent Meredith. There was some history between those two. Not entirely sure what they did other than the fact that they were business partners at one point in time. Perhaps that's how they got this field secured. This is the same surface that the Dragons played on in the Anderson Civic Center last year. It was shipped from Anderson to Charlotte at some point during the offseason.
Does that mean they bring us a pizza?
I'm not sure. I hope they bring us a pizza. That'd be pretty cool. Recording, Isaac? All right. The Energy kicker thus far, Eric Amaya, has had a very busy day. Lots of kickoffs, lots of PATs, and an onside attempt that went horribly wrong and was stripped from his hands and returned for a touchdown. One of the highlights of the Energy so far. It does indeed have a leg. I just now got that. That was pretty clever. I thought that was landfill by pitch shifter there for a second. Octavius Love has this one. He's making some men miss with the shake and bake. It gets him out to the 15, but he needs to go down. And the whistles blew before that ball was stripped. I think Stephen Allen was able to recover it anyway. Ball's going to be spotted around the 17, I believe.
Octavius Love returning.
That's the third time the Energy really bottled up somebody after a return like that and tried to strip the ball. And in that case, I know it's a lot easier said than done, but you need to focus on protecting the ball and just go down. Don't let them strip it. Wyatt Rogers can tell you all about that. His first reception from scrimmage, his first arena reception 2 years ago against Cape Fear, they did the exact same thing to him. He was fighting for yardage, and he got a really good run. He caught it around the 10-yard line and went all the way out to the 25, and Cape Fear was able to strip the ball out, unfortunately. Mark Littlejohn back in at quarterback. Jaron Moore, Devin Ruffin, and Kevin McCleary in at receiver. Quick screen to Kevin, and he fights for some yardage. Again, 6'4", 245. The biggest receiver on this team, perhaps even one of the biggest in the league, I'd love to say. More of a linebacker playing at the receiver spot can be scary for some of these smaller DBs. And definitely the kind of play the Predators needed to come out with. Not a shot to the end zone, nothing fancy, just a quick screen to get the ball in and out of Marcus's hands fast so he can get a little bit more comfortable in the pocket. Because right now, some offensive line backup or even just some time is what he needs. Mark thought about it, and he's going to lose 2 yards on that one. I think he had Ruffin on a hitch, but then decided against it. Couldn't get the replay. I believe Ruffin was covered up pretty well.
Brings up 3rd and 7.
It is going to be 3rd and 7 from the 20-yard line. And I've got to say, I'm surprised we have not seen Octavius Love come in at that wide position. He hasn't gotten a lot of reps at receivers in practice so far, but just judging by the 2 kicks he's returned, he's got some moves. He's a very precise route runner, pretty fast to boot. Wouldn't be surprised if he eventually got some reps. Right now, it's Sharon Moore in at that Y spot, though. Little John under pressure and rolls way over the head of Kevin.
Pass was incomplete.
He was open, but Little John just floated out when it got away from him. Brings up 4th down and 7. And again, the Predators seem to have gotten away from that quick screen game, though on that 2nd down it was covered up pretty well. Little John had to run, lost 2 yards, and now it's 4th and 7 where you really have to try and pick up the 4th down, or the 1st down. Again, it's not 4th and 10. It's a bit more manageable, but without Wyatt Rogers in there, you got to wonder what Little John's going to do. Who is his go-to guy going to be? Devin Ruffin is going to go in motion to the Y spot. Moore in at the Z position. Interesting switch up. Little John got some time, running out of time, caught and dropped by Moore, and that's going to be a turnover on downs. And just like that, Predators drive comes to a close. Defense will come back out, energy and plus territory with 20 yards to pay dirt. And if you were not here for the first half, they were a one-man show on offense. Josh Doster ran all over this Predators defense in the first half. There was a drive where he had 5 straight direct snaps and got positive yardage on all of them. Went somewhere around 35 yards on that, if I'm not mistaken. He was running over people, running around him. He looked unstoppable. And he's since kind of gotten away from it, focused on getting their quarterback, Stephen Colin, into a rhythm. He's thrown 2 touchdowns, but also 2 interceptions. Been an up and down day for him. But all in all, a lot of pick sixes thrown by the Predators offense. The defense has really not been out there that much. And a nice break up there by Octavius Love. He got beat out of the break, was able to make up the ground. Passes a little bit late to the inside, but just by a hair. Good job by Love to make up that ground. And again, Octavius Love, one of our impact players, making another play. He's definitely the leader in that secondary. He came into training camp and just stole the show. He's a fantastic player. All around, he's got all the skills, it seems like. And he's pressing up to the line against that wide receiver. This could be hazardous, and he switches at the last second, and Colin read it beautifully. And number 3 is going to get taken down right at the 5 by number 6, Donald Jones. I'm not entirely sure I like that defensive call. Colin, especially standing back there in the shotgun, he read it beautifully. He saw Love break into the outside, realized that his man going over the middle was going to be wide open because those linebackers can only go 6 yards downfield, and was able to get the completion. No huddle here for the energy, and a screen goes into the end zone. Octavius Love there was not able to come up with the tackle.
Roger Jackson on that catch.
Roger Spider-Man Jackson into the end zone. I believe that might have been Donald Jones covering him there, not Love. Some of these numbers on the jerseys look the same. In the defensive backfield, we actually have numbers 4, 5, and 6 as our secondary members. Interesting quirk. And that was Donald Jones. He's wearing socks. Octavius Love is wearing black calf-length socks. And Stephen Allen has dreads. That's how you can tell them apart at home. Eric Amaya continuing his very eventful day with another PAT attempt to send his team up 59-12. He had one of these blocked, but it was called back, and not a lot of push there from the defensive line, and they're going to call it good. So 59-12. Predators had a drive going with a quick completion to Kevin McClure. Drive stalled out. The Energy took over the 20, and the rest is history. Carolina now down 47 points. Looking for a response. But now, if you're the Energy, it could be considered unsportsmanlike at this point, but I think if you want to try an onside kick, to say the least, the Predators are not going to be expecting it. Though, considering how poorly the last onside kick attempt went, I have my reservations that they'll do it again unless they absolutely need to. Which, to say the least, they don't need to on this play.
It's time for a Donato's Pizza
right
kickoff.
inside of that right-hand crow hash. Set to kick this one as far as he can. He's been trying for that Uno all night. Seems like he's gotten closer every single time. See if he can get it here. And he got all of that one. Stephen Allen going to get this in the left-hand end of that end zone. And Allen out past the 20, but they're trying to strip the ball again. He's got to go down. And the ball, he extended it there right at the last second. I think the Energy tried to say fumbled it, but he had his elbow down. Gets it out to the 22, so a really good return there by Allen. That area has stepped up tremendously. There was a stretch where the Predators couldn't get outside their 10-yard line on those returns and seemed to have made some progress. Mark Littlejohn still in at quarterback, just hasn't had time to throw. He's a very accurate passer, very rhythmic passer, and he hasn't gotten to practice with his receivers a ton. Jaron Moore meeting up with the team for the first time today. Devin Ruffin hasn't been able to practice much. He was having vision issues, as far as I know. And Kevin McClure had difficulty commuting. He lives a ways away in Greenville, where the Predators have set up their headquarters. Kelvin Sessoms in at fullback. Jaron Moore still in at receiver. He's going to be the motion man. And a high snap. Littlejohn frantically throws it to Ruffin, who was wide open on the sidelines, goes down, and the boards go down with him. An exciting play there. A hitch route and was just able to run after the catch. Caught the Energy playing off the line. Now, at this point, the field are probably going to start to cheat up a little bit. You're a bit too close to the end zone to go deep, but maybe an intermediate route, like a 17, where you have McLaurin down there on a hitch or a smoke, and Moore on a corner. Try and go for the end zone right here. Moore's going on a post. Littlejohn fires for him. Did he catch that? No! Oh, just out of the hands of Jaron Moore. And if that had been Wyatt, I can almost guarantee he would have caught that, because that is where he excels more. Definitely more of an open field possession type receiver. But in and out of the hands, great break up there by the Energy defensive backs. Sets up 2nd and 10. I like the play call. Definitely a deep cross. Wanting to go for the end zone. And I like this look from the defense. Littlejohn going to have to run. He's got some room. He's got a lot of room, and he gets hit really hard at the 5-yard line. I think they're trying to say the ball came out, and the referee signal for 3rd down. It's going to be, they're going to call this 3rd and 1, I believe. He was really close to that line to gain. And Jamaica Marcus is going to come in at wide receiver. Devin Ruffin is subbing out. Now right here, this is really where you want to watch out for Kevin McLaurin, 6'4", 240. He's a big man going up against a smaller defensive back, and I think that's what Mark might be telling him right now. Be ready for some kind of fade, especially if you get leverage to the inside. Take a couple steps into the end zone, break it about 45 degrees, and wait for Mark to throw a high and accurate pass, and then just jump over the guy in front of you. That is your best bet right here, though. If you want to have Moore run some kind of a pivot, you can probably get that done too, because he is on a really big defensive back that'll be able to push him around, but I can almost guarantee he won't be able to keep up with him should he get into the open field. More the man in motion. Littlejohn back to pass under duress, and they try to pivot, and there was a zone look. They were ready for it. Got keyed in on Moore there. I think he had. You got a replay of that? Yeah, let's look. I think he had McLaurin open in the end zone right at the very back. It was going to be close. If he had just waited a split second longer, it would have seen McLaurin. He was open between those zones. It was a goal line zone look. They're playing really deep, and no motion here. This is usually signal for a run, or no, now he's calling for McLaurin to back up. No motion. But they'll pass it anyway. I think it was supposed to be a QB draw. I'm honestly not entirely sure what happened there. And Mark shoves the guy to the ground. No flags thrown. And 4th and goal. And no, that was 4th and 1. Which is probably why there was no motion. I bet that was supposed to be a run, and there was a miscommunication there. So a turnover on downs again for the Predators. Energy come out there with their longest field of the day, I believe. 45 yards to pay dirt. This is about where they were on the field when Stephen Cullen threw that interception on the initial drive. Let's see if the Predators can come up with another big turnover. Offensive alignment has remained stagnant for most of the game. Mitchell Harris in at Mac linebacker, number 33 Mark Granville Jr. in at Jack linebacker, and Jamaica Harris is in at DB. No, that's Stephen Allen in at DB. Octavius Love and Donald Jones, the other defensive backs. Allen just got manhandled, but Cullen goes to the other side of the field where he's got a man on a quick 4-yard completion. Wait to try and get that defense's cheat up, though the Energy have not been too viable going down the field. So it might be a good thing if the Predators cheat up just a little bit, get the Energy to a point where they think they can go downfield, and then maybe jump a route somewhere around the 10. And this is a handoff to Josh Dostin, but they were ready for that one for once. They take the big man down, and just a gain of 2. It's going to bring up 3rd and 3, so the Predators with a golden opportunity here on defense. You got to think a run's coming in this kind of yardage situation, especially with 2 downs to go. The Energy have the advantage with down and distance, but the Predators, this is the closest they've gotten to a stop so far. Now a pass from Cullen, but oh no, fullback's going on a wheel, but it doesn't matter because 82's open, and had all day to throw. Neither of the linebackers blitzed, and with 3 guys in protection on 3 defensive linemen, Cullen had all day to throw, send his fullback on a wheel. I think that threw off the defense. They were clearly in a zone look. His man was able to find an open spot and just get downfield. And a tunnel screen here, and it is stopped right at the goal line. And the tackling struggles continue for the Predators, and a flag flies, multiple flags. Predator looking confused. That's usually not a good sign. And another flag. Something has gone horribly wrong. Octavius Love has his helmet off and is jawing at Irvin Bryson. That's not a good sign either. Chaos in the Bojangles Coliseum. And now Ricky McKinney and Donnie Bird are on the field, perhaps looking to settle this. I think Ricky's going in on defense. Getting some bigger bodies in for this first and this second and goal from the 1. Octavius Love heading off the field.
Could be a record for flags.
Believe it or not, I've seen more. Not in arena, but I've seen footage of more get thrown. In the meantime, everybody seems really discombobulated. Still no signals from the referees, just havoc on this play. Here we go. Let's find out what happened.
After play, unsportsmanlike goal, number 33. After play, unsportsmanlike defense, number 5. Unsportsmanlike number 5, that's 2 on number 5, he has been disqualified.
And that was why Octavius Love headed to the sidelines. He has been ejected for having 2 unsportsmanlike conduct penalties on the same play, which I gotta say I have never seen. So now the Predators, without their biggest leader in the ends in the defensive backfield, and he's still talking to Irvin Bryson. He has got guts, I'll give him that. Love now headed back to the Predators sideline. I guess they're going to let him stay, which must have been why Ricky came in. Yeah, they're going to sub him in at linebacker and put Mark Granville in DB to replace Octavius Love, who is now going to the locker room. Can't decide where he wants to go. Inside, outside, which side, you don't know. We're going to start play as soon as he gets off the field. 4:21 left in this third quarter. It has been all energy. still waiting to get everything sorted out. Got a feeling we're close though.
Your energy have it, second and goal.
See what? I just saw him talking to the coach, and that's never a good sign. And Doster runs it in. Touchdown energy. I'll take it to 65. How many times have I called his name?
That's an 8-3 touchdown.
Perhaps Doster's shortest run of the game so far. Technically, he only gained a yard. That's good for a touchdown, so nobody's counting.
He got in, but he wouldn't have got another foot.
And now, opening score, extra point attempt.
Looking to make it 66-12. Kick is up, and it's good again. 66-12. 3:29 left in the game.
Score now, 66-12.
18 minutes and 29 seconds left in the game.
The Carolina Energy loves our sponsors. Special shout out.
As unfortunate as we see this point, I think this might be the time of the game to start testing out some things that you haven't really gotten to practice against live players yet. You start going to more experimental plays because the game is out of reach, unfortunately. But it's an interesting experience because you get to see some new things. Maybe some things nobody has ever really seen before. Maybe some things the Predators haven't practiced. And you'll likely see it from both teams. Some experimentation on both sides of the football. So, in spite of the scoreboard, still some interesting plays to be had, to say the least. Those are good. Looks like we're in the midst of some kind of media timeout. Ricky McKinney appears to be conversing with the referees. I can't tell who that is with him. Probably trying to figure out what exactly Octavius did to get himself ejected. That's Stephen Allen down there with him. Meanwhile, Eric Amaya is on the goal line anxiously waiting to kick this thing away. The Uno has eluded him to this point. He has gotten very close on multiple occasions, just has not been able to put it through those uprights. But again, it seems like he gets closer and closer every time. He may make one of these before the game's over.
Yep. He's got to be getting tired. No way he kicks it through that.
I don't know. Like I said, some experimentation to be had, surely. So maybe another onside kick in the future for him. And should the Predators score, I imagine there will be an onside kick from them. Just because that's something they haven't been able to practice. To try to get some live action players, see how it works, figure out how it works, and should it perform to expectations, how it can be replicated in future games. And this is why I watch arena football, folks. Tell me where else you're going to see a quarterback back to field a kickoff. Ricky McKinney back there with Stephen Allen, ready to maybe take this thing to the end zone, at least as far as he can. Again, Ricky is deceptively fast. He's listed at 240, but he's got very light feet. Kick is off in Stephen Allen's direction and out of the back of the end zone, just a few feet short of that Uno, the closest he's gotten all game. I feel like I might have called him Eric Allen there, I'm not sure. 66-12, energy on top. Clock did not move on that kick because the ball was never live. 3 minutes and 29 seconds left in the third quarter. Ricky McKinney back in the quarterback. No, Mark Littlejohn is in at quarterback. Ricky is going to go in at receiver. Again, deceptively fast feet. A man of his size, and no, now Ricky checks out. I think he was just double checking the play call. Jamaica Marcus in at the Z position, Kevin McLaurin in at the X, and Jaron Moore in at the Y. And McLaurin is wide open. Mark saw him, and McLaurin is hit hard. But he gets 5 yards, and in a game like this, that's really all that matters. It has been a war of attrition on those quick passes on first down. The energy with that shift coverage that they scored on not too long ago when they didn't score on it, but Octavius Love shifted out to the outside like that and left a man wide open over the middle. Sort of the same concept, because it was inverted there, and Mark was able to pick up on it. Again, especially at this point, you don't want to bite off more than you can chew. Just focus on the quick stuff, try to get some completions. And Mark gives himself up and goes out of bounds.
That's Brady Reed. Running quarterback Marcus
Goes a sack, a big loss. Takes him from 2nd and 5 to 3rd and 12. Don't think he had time to throw that one away. So, and Columbus Irish, 3rd and 11 coming up.
They may get a few plays together. They'll get a little momentum for the next one.
And John back in the shotgun. Jamaica in motion. Jamaica. Curl. Everybody ran curls. And the ball off the wall is live, but they're saying incomplete. I thought that one went out of bounds. Just out of the reach of Kevin McLaurin. A little to the outside. Right there's one of Mark's favorite plays. 661. 2 curls and a hitch. Whoever gets open. Now 4th and 11 for Little John. Again, don't want to bite off more than you can chew, but there aren't a lot of play calls in the book for 4th and 11. Ricky McKinney standing at receiver. McLaurin and Jamaica Russell, the other two complimenting. And a low snap. Mark just going to have to get on top of this, but he makes it past the first down marker. Making something out of nothing. And the longest rushing play of the game thus far for the Predators comes off of a bad snap. What are the odds of that? The linebackers cleared out when they saw that ball was on the ground and all went for the pocket. Mark was able to escape untouched, showing off he's not the fastest guy in the world, but he's got long strides. Took him only 5 or 6 steps to go 10 yards. That's tough to stop no matter how fast you are. McLaurin getting pressed. Another low snap. And I don't know. After that last play, you got to wonder if that was intentional.
By quarterback Marcus Littlejohn.
Fortunately, recovered by Mark.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter.
Way to go into the 4th quarter.
Energy
up 66-12. But the Predators have strayed away from the interceptions that got them in this big of a hole so far. They did not score in that 3rd quarter. But aside from that 4 and out, they did not turn it over either, which is a good sign. Big shot forward. Trying to rally the troops in the huddle. Likely going ahead and getting the play call. Second down and 10 after that. Miracle run. Little John. Second and 10. Second and 14. Bad snap. Recovered by Little John. Closer, new plays, fancy plays. It's likely we might see Jamaica in the receiver. Sure, the Ryan Rogers entry had something to do with it. They wanted to get him some experience, and this is a pretty low-risk setting for him. It's a good way to get some playing time for the rookies. Of course, Jamaica, one of just 2 open tryout signings for the Predators this season. And Mark gonna pitch it to Kelvin Sessoms on the option, who gets back just a hair past the original line of scrimmage. So good play to Sessoms on 3rd and 10.
Run into the wall.
3rd down, and again, viral Little John right here. I'd focus on just getting a completion in. Quick screens to Kevin McClure have worked well, and when this distance has been reached, the DBs have typically played pretty far off the line. I'd focus on something quick here and just try to set up a manageable 4th down. 4th and 4 is a lot better than 4th and 9. Make it in motion. Little John gonna sling it from McClure, and he's wide open, and he tries to lower his head, but the energy defender got a little bit lower and stopped him right at the 1-yard line. So the Predators deep into the red zone now. Ball spotted on the 1. Goal to go. Now, gotta make sure you don't overthink this. Energy sending in some bigger personnel to try and combat a potential run up the middle. Kelvin Sessoms has the power. You don't really need the speed when you're down here, but he's got pretty quick feet too. But again, just don't overthink this.
Beautiful play. Open it up like that.
And a timeout called by Mike Williams.
See the replay?
Timeout.
Yeah.
Predators. That's their first.
Take a look at the instant replay. I think the DB covering Kevin cleared out. Yeah, he went pretty deep. He was covering the middle of the field. And then, I don't know, if he jumped, he might have made it in, but at 240, it might not be too easy to jump. Who knows? Kevin, get you his player card up. Kevin. There's the man himself, Kevin McClure, 6'4", 240, out of Campbell College. So 1st and goal from the 1. Ball is on the left college hash. Mark is a very dangerous weapon with his legs when he gets down here. He likes to take it to the outside. Are the energy going to be ready for that? No apparent motion. This is usually a signal for a run. Little John's going to go under center. This is probably a QB sneak. And he just tried to get him to jump off sides, though something craziness on that play. I'm not entirely sure what happened. The refs, I don't have a clue. It looked like the energy jumped off sides. Mark went with a hard count, but now Mark's coming off the field. Yeah, it looks like the energy jumped. I don't have any idea. They're signaling energy balls, so an opportunity strangely squandered.
Ian was down by contact. The energy will take over. 1st and 10.
A peculiar start to the 4th quarter, to say the least. Though, the only trade-off there is that the Energy are deep in their own territory, on their own 2-yard line, so perhaps safety on the table. Donnie Berg, the ref's a piece of his mind, saying that was an offsides, which I
got no idea how it was.
I personally believe it was as well.
Shout out
McKinney
to our sponsor of the Wheel Tire Exchange, the official wheel and tire company of the Carolina Energy.
Harris in at the Mac linebacker position. Ricky in at the Jack. Mitchell looks to blitz. It's a good call in this part of the field. And Mitchell's going to drop. It's a run to Josh Doster, who is hit really hard after gaining 5 yards. Mitchell Harris coming all the way across the field to take him down. Going to set up a 2nd down and 6, and DeVario Hawley looking a bit rattled
Injury timeout on the field.
Injury timeout. And they're going to get Navarro off the field. Or no. There's an energy player down as well.
That was a big hit.
Take a look at that hit. It certainly was. I tell you, I'm most intrigued about how Mitchell came all the way across the field to make that tackle. That is great pursuit by him. He's had a fantastic game. And the injured player is up and running. Looks like he's going to be okay. Harris there on the screen. 6'4", 245 out of the top of college. He's got an interception, that big tackle. He's been all over the field from that MAC spot today. And Jamaica checks out. Kelvin Sessoms comes in at linebacker. And no, Kelvin Sessoms comes in at nose tackle. Ricky McKinney stays in at linebacker. Mark Granville comes out of the linebacker spot to the defensive back spot. So, again, a lot of experimentation, trying to find a good cortex of guys in here. Perhaps if Octavius Love gets injured or ejected in the future. Might have fallen asleep. This has been a very slow fourth quarter so far. 12:44 and counting. Stephen Colin got all day to throw. Going long. Got a man. Underthrown and knocked away at the last second. What a great play there by Mark Granville Jr. Ball was late. Just a second earlier, and that might have gone for 6, but Mark Granville able to turn on the Jets right at the end and bat that thing away. In almost the exact same spot that that Octavius Love did it on the first play from scrimmage in the first quarter. Interesting parallels. Perhaps an interception will follow. Yeah, Mark Granville. Mark 2, yeah. Let's see, Mark Granville there on the screen. Stephen Colin goes to send Scooby Bryant into motion. Mitchell looks to blitz, but he will blitz this time. And he's into the backfield, but it's too late. Caught by Scooby Bryant for the first down, who is still on his feet. I think they're going to give him forward progress past the marker, but they took him all the way back to the line of scrimmage. So the Predators, in spite of the score, still giving it 100%. Hitting hard. And they will give him forward progress out to the 13-yard line. It's going to be first down for the Energy, but not for lack of trying from the Predators. Great effort to push him back behind the line after that play was over. Mark Granville now into that safety position. And it's a handoff. Ricky almost got him, but Mitchell Harris. Joshua was able to shed the tackle, but by that point he was already against the wall. The defensive line was able to come in and clean it up. There was a flag down. Could be a holding call. Interestingly enough, to my knowledge, we have not had a single one of this whole game. That is particularly rare. And the paint, if you can pan over around the 25, the paint on Kelvin Stesson's helmet is chipping, which means that somewhere there is a big splotch of dried red paint on the field. Somebody's going to find it after the field. Donnie Bird checks in at nose tackle. No, it looks like he's going to go in at linebacker. Mitchell Harris will go in at nose. I personally thought Mitchell Harris had more of a defensive end build myself, and there he is at the defensive end position. Let's see what kind of pass rush he can get going. Donnie Bird in at the back spot now. Mitchell Harris with a nice spin move, but he gets pancaked, and that pass, he had Brandon Rowe open, but the pass was off the mark. Ball's incomplete. Maybe got a little bit excited seeing there was nobody around him. 10:30 left in this game. Clock running. Second down and 15 coming up. The Energy. Galvin Sessom's going to check back in. Harris checks out. With him gone, the Energy may look to run this, but at the same time, I'm sure they're wanting to test out some passing plays as well. Colin got all day again, going along. Stephen Allen broke it up at the last second. Great defensive play by him with no PI either. Just an awesome all-around pass coverage instance there. Great of him to stay on that receiver, put his hand in at the last second, and most importantly, not put any hands on it. Awesome play there by number 4. He's going to set up 3rd and 15, the longest down distance for the Energy on this game so far. Another defensive substitution. Donnie Bird looks to leave the field, but nobody seems to be subbing in for him.
It looks like we look better keeping a linebacker than more like his own instead of blitzing him in. And then just play coverage.
Make a Russell, Mark Granville, and Donald Jones at defensive back. Super DeVario Hawley in a defensive end now. Oh, got all day again. Going to try to take off, throwing on the run past the markers, down the sidelines. Can they take him down? And Stephen Allen making like a table there. That was an interesting tackle to say the least, but it worked. It definitely worked.
Brought down by Stephen Allen II.
But regardless, it is a big 3rd and 15 conversion, and Stephen Colin has left the game. The backup quarterback, Aaron Harbison, is in, number 14. More of a pocket passer from what I've seen, though. Colin has not run much this game. He's run more outside the pocket than passing. And Ricky's about to get flagged. He's got to get inside the defensive box. And they don't call it. And Marcus Doster exploits that beautifully. Saw that Ricky was playing outside the box. Cut that run to the right-hand side where nobody was and was able to get it into the end zone. Energy up to 72 with 7 minutes and 58 seconds left to play.
And now, a Morningstar extra point attempt.
Eric Amaya, it's been a while since we've called his name. Out to attempt the extra point.
I think his leg's tired.
I know mine would be. He has kicked a lot today.
He's a good kicker, though.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good man. He doesn't miss me.
Kick is up, and it is true once more. 73-12. The Energy hang on to the lead.
We have 7:27 to play.
Well,
Media time. Media time.
Predators 12.
Media timeout will be taken. And I believe they're saying no good on the PAT now.
Right, his leg's tired.
So it's going to remain 72-12. So again, especially at this point in the game.
He may go on sides right here because he can't kick one.
After that last onside attempt, I don't know if they'll do that. But I definitely think you're going to start to see some very experimental plays from both sides. To put it very bluntly, they don't have much else better to do at this point. The game is well under control for the Energy. Though, I think they're just clearing out because those kids are trying to pop balloons, though. But we need to make sure we get the hands team up there fast, or else they really are going to go on the slide. Devin Ruffin kind of hanging out around the 20. He looks to go upfield, though, and there he does. Ricky McKinney back to field this one again alongside Stephen Allen. Well, Eric Amaya finally getting the yellow. His leg actually tired from a long day of kicking. This one teed up and ready for action.
It's time for a Geno's Pizza kickoff.
Maya standing in his own end zone.
I believe we're going to run it back.
His troops, and we've got whistles.
We're going to run it back.
We're ready for play. Kick is up. Amaya didn't get the fastest start in the world, but Allen muffs the punt. He's got to get out of the end zone, and he does. And his hit hard, but somehow stays on his feet and then falls forward to the 9, but we got flags way back.
Runs it back, brought down by Tony Reed.
It's anyone's guess as to what this is. Could be an illegal block in the back. Some Energy fans are cheering. Not sure what for. The refs haven't made a signal quite yet.
Holding a good drive.
Number 17, half distance, first down.
Direction Little John still in the quarterback. Ricky's going to be in the receiver.
Yeah, if we can get a good drive put together, we're going to know a few things work.
Got a foul there on Kevin McClure, pushes the Predators all the way back to the 2. Get the play in. Probably going to be something quick and short. Not want to risk getting tackled in this area of the field. And actually, Little John is going to go in at receiver now. Ricky's the quarterback. The old switcheroo for the Predators. Mark does like the run. Snap is low, and I don't have any idea what happened other than the fact that one of the Energy linebackers was able to scoop that up and run it right into the end zone. Freddie Reed on that
That's
one.
an entry.
Bizarre turn of events there. Again, I never even saw the ball move. And somehow it teleported into his hands. But regardless, it puts the Energy on the board once more. 78-12, 79, pending the extra point. Yeah.
I saw him snap it, but I don't know how.
Yeah. You got any ideas on how a snap can go forward?
Big star, extra point attempt.
I've seen kicks go forward. I don't think I've ever seen a snap go forward.
I don't know unless somebody fumbled it.
Mark Littlejohn on the field goal blocking team. And he goes in there to try to block it, and he almost got it off the uprights. But a flag is thrown. Maybe he got a head start.
Legal defense, number 7.
And
Half distance.
yeah, illegal defense. You got to be stationary before the snap. You can't get a run and start like that. Time just a little bit too early. And they'll move that up half a yard. The Energy went for 2 in this area last time, just direct snapped it to Doster. But he's not on the field right now. I think they're going to try an extra point attempt here. Go up 79-12. Mark trying to draw him off sides. Good to see he's still having fun. But that one is right down the middle. That would be the best PAT by Amaya tonight. And he has a large selection of them, to say the least. Right down the middle, puts the Predators up 79-12. Amaya going to kick it off again. And that one wasn't as high as all of his other ones. It looks like may actually be getting tired at this point. And thought Amaya was actually going off the field there for a second. He's staying on. That would have been an interesting development. There's his tee over there. No immediate changes. Kick coverage unit. Though interesting to note, Jerron Moore has been absent. I just realized that. Not sure where he's gone off to.
What was that movie with that Peter in it? Like Spider-Man, they just saw it.
I'm not sure.
Remember the little kid that
It's time
Oh,
for
Fun
tonight's
Size.
Pizza Kickoff.
I always think of that.
Eric Amaya. See if he's been drinking his protein shakes. Does he have the stamina to kick this one as far as he's kicked all of his other ones? It sure looks like it. He might have the Uno here. Just short. Stephen Allen out of the end zone, trying to make some men miss. And no, there's Jerron Moore. So he has returned from wherever he was, but was not able to make much happen. Got forward progress to around the 3. I think they're going to give him that much. familiar territory for the Predators. This area of the field has not been kind to them. Both quarterbacks on the field right now. I think it's anyone's guess as to who will get the snap. Ricky appears to be calling a play, though, and it looks like he will be the passer. Receiver. Moore seems to have checked out. Now Moore is in there. Devin Ruffin checked out. Receivers are Mark Littlejohn, Jaron Moore, and Kevin McClure. Littlejohn getting leverage to the inside. He wants to run a comeback. I think he's got it. Giving him a lot of space. He's looking for McClure, who makes an acrobatic catch and is taken straight into the wall. Just a gain of 2 or so on that play. This is the hazard of throwing all the way across the field like that. Take a little bit of time to get there. An awesome catch there by McClure. A lot of effort there for 2 yards. They will not go unnoticed. And they're going to call that 3 yards actually. Second down and 7. I like the call there by Rick. Just, again, going short, making sure to get some completions in. Again, experimental stuff at this point. It's almost like a live practice in a way. And a quarterback draw from Ricky, who gets a couple of yards. We'll set up a third and very manageable. 3 or 2 yards to go.
Ricky McKinney on the carry.
And they're going to call this one 3rd and 4, actually. But I like the dynamic now. More West Coast style offense, trying to dink and dunk their way around, slowly move the chains. They really missed that all through the game. I think it could have been useful, but the offensive line wasn't really holding up well enough to get that done. They seem to have fixed up the pass protection a little bit. Devin Ruffin checks in at receiver. Littlejohn checks out. Jaron Moore going into motion. He's gotten leverage big time to the inside. McKinney back to pass, looking for Moore, but it was batted up in the air and hits the ground. Set up 4th down and 4. So a big play here for the Predators. Playing for pride at this point, but make no mistake, this is one they definitely need. Kevin Sessoms checks out at fullback position. I think Mark's going to go into quarterback and they're going to put Rick in at fullback. It's bad that because I can't imagine Mark would go into fullback. He's 6'4", 180. Not exactly fullback material. And now they're saying to wind the clock. They're not saying false start, they're saying wind the clock. Kevin McClure in at fullback, who's in a pass blocking position. Littlejohn in at receiver. And he was not ready for the snap. He's just got to get rid of this thing. Slings it for McClure, who almost caught it. But got hammered there at the last second. Heads up play by all parties involved. Rick finding the open man. McClure getting his hands up and trying to make the catch. And the defense, by knowing that the play wasn't over and coming in to make a big shot on the receiver and make sure he couldn't come down with that reception. Unfortunate, but not for lack of trying. Great effort all around, like I said. All parties involved did good. And 3 minutes and 9 seconds and counting left in this one. Energy up 79-12, looking to go up even more. DB's giving some leverage. Jaron Moore actually in a DB right now, but they hand it off to Josh Doster. Moore is not involved. Stephen Allen takes him into the walls. They tried to keep going, but once they were forced into the walls by defensive players, officially out of bounds. They're going to spot him around the 2.
Replay. What happened there?
Perhaps he was a player back in the day. I forgot he doesn't have pads. Doster still in at fullback. DB's giving a little bit of leverage, but it doesn't matter. It's a direct snap to Doster, and he gets in. Feels like his millionth touchdown of the game. He was wanting MVP today. He certainly earned it. Energy up 85-12. 145 and counting left in this one.
And now, a moving star extra point attempt.
Welcome Eric Amaya back to the field to attempt this extra point. Kick is up, and I think he missed that one. No good, so it stays 85-12, a minute 11
We
seconds.
got just over a minute to play. The score, your Carolina Energy 85, the Predators 12.
Come after it. There's definitely time to string together one last drive to try and go out with their heads held high. Certainly a game to forget for the Predators, but they've learned a lot. Learned a lot. What to do, what not to do. I'm sure they come out of this game with more knowledge than we could ever know, especially after this fourth quarter. They've been able to try a lot of different things, a lot of different personnel.
It's time for tonight's pizza
There is
kickoff.
no doubt that they will be much better prepared for their game next week after this experience. Stephen Allen no longer fielding any kicks. It's been bestowed to Jerome Moore. Ricky McKinney is still the up front blocker. And this is Blow. I think that was the ready for play. Crowd getting pumped up. Kick is up. It's almost got the distance, and it's muffed by Moore. Ricky's trying to block, trying to find the lane is Moore, and nothing happens. He gets out of the 2, and they'll give him forward progress.
Jerome Moore on
He
the
has
return.
not been able to make much happen.
Brought down by several of your energy.
And again, Predators in a dangerous spot on the field. So far, they have not had any safeties. Very fortunate in that regard. They've had some very close calls that inexplicably have nearly been some pretty good plays, especially on the last offensive play from scrimmage. Ricky just almost had a bad snap, was almost tackled in the end zone, somehow managed to find Kevin McClure down the sideline, who was just a split second away from making an awesome catch. Was unable to reel it in, but if anything, it's shown the team that he's a reliable target, though right now he's lined up at fullback. Melvin Sessoms is out. And whistles blow. I believe we got a timeout.
1 minute warning.
And that is the 1 minute warning timeout.
Why did the clock stop?
Because it hit the 1 minute warning.
Yeah, but it shouldn't even start.
It starts after kickoffs. A lot of teams run it. I don't think you're supposed to, but a lot of teams run it. I think that's something you'll notice as you watch some AAL games around the league. Some teams run the clock after the kickoff. Most of them do. A handful don't. I feel like Cape Fear might not, actually. I don't think it's explicitly stated in the rulebook what you're supposed to do. Well, it doesn't matter now. 1 minute to go for the Predators. Ricky just going to sling this one up and off the wall. That was a live ball. I'm not sure if they knew that or just weren't able to react in time. But it falls harmlessly to the ground. Going to bring up second down and 10 for the Predators. Personnel groupings remain the same. Moore in motion. Kinney back to pass. Had a pretty clean pocket to throw from. And that is Kevin McClure, I believe.
Pass complete to David Ruffin.
No, that is Devin Ruffin. McClure is still at fullback. He was under some duress there, standing on his goal line, was able to make some men miss and get positive yards out of that. 2nd and 10 and the 3rd and 7. So that has been the Predators' most reliable play to this point, the quick X screen. It is simple but effective. It's not a go-to play on 3rd and 7 or long distance like this, but it has been reliable. And I honestly wouldn't be surprised to see them try it again here to set up a 4th and short. Moore going to go in motion, mark in at that Z spot. And that's a backwards pass. That, I'm not entirely sure. It looked like a backwards pass to me, but I think they're going to call that forward. I think Ricky saw that Mark was open, but then that DB crashed down, and Ricky decided to cut his losses and not get the extra quarterback hit. 3rd and 7 becomes 4th and 7, and the Predators need to get something going here. Just 20 seconds left. Likely just a $9.99, going to send everybody deep and hope for something good. Kevin McClure in at fullback in a blocking position. Moore in motion. And everyone looking to go deep. McKinney under duress finds Moore, who drops it and then gets hammered. I think Moore heard the footsteps there, but he got hit anyway. And an unfortunate end to that drive. And I would not be surprised if the Energy come out and just run this one. Call it a day. You can't kneel it inside the 1-minute warning if you have the lead. The clock will stop. Of course, with a score like this, the refs may make an exception if Irvin tells them beforehand that he is going onto the field, though he's talking to his quarterback and not any officials. This is probably a run, and should the Predators be able to tackle it in the last game. 14 seconds left to play, up 85-12.
The game
that has been all Charlotte.
Sections 112, 104, and 127.
Backup quarterback Aaron Harbinson in the shotgun. Josh Doster beside him. And it is indeed a handoff to Doster, who has some room, and if he didn't get into the end zone, he got right in front of it. They're going to call him short, and the clock is running. They're not going to take it. 85-12, leading the final. The Energy with a convincing win over the Carolina Predators, who have some work to do. But again, they learned a lot from this game.
After the game, stop by the Indian Ivy, located at 222 South Church Street in Uptown Charlotte, and celebrate with your favorite Carolina Energy
Signing
players
off from Road Games Coliseum in Charlotte.
Number one
I'd like to thank our second cameraman, Isaac Bloom, for recording this game at higher quality.
and our quest to go all the way. We can't do it without you,
Daniel Ruff, our live stream technician, keeping everything running behind the scenes for you.
Rush there to see us. Don't pass on
Great
this
effort by both
opportunity.
sides involved tonight.
Great deals for
Fun
your
game.
ticket stuff. Indian Ivy after parties are where everyone's a winner.
Next time, when the Carolina Predators travel to Macon, Georgia, to take on the 0-1 Georgia Doom. See you then. Good night.